What's going on, traders? Today is 12th of September and I'm here to bring you another market update. On my yesterday's video, I was talking about the fact that we are definitely trying to close a candle below the 21 moving average. However, this entire candle rejected the 100 and 21, both of them together. We do have a bearish cross between them, and now it is being confirmed by the price action as a closure below the 21 moving average as well, which is kind of concerning the extremely small term time frame. So now I do expect the price to kind of retest this trend line, which is currently at 9,450. Now losing levels like 9,450 and closing candles below it would not really look good, and after that particular point I would be looking for a full-fledged retest of this 21 moving average on the weekly time frame, which is kind of aligning with this support trend line, to be honest. The price can definitely come, give a stab at this particular moving average and get bought back up again, although who knows. Which reminds me, definitely check out my video from yesterday, as I was talking about this entire formation to be an ascending triangle instead of a descending triangle if you look at the weekly time frame. That's going to be interesting, and I'm sure you'll gain some value out of it. Although let's head back to the daily time frame, and yet again the current posture is definitely bearish. Bulls have lost their control and the price is currently at bear control zone. Now I do want to be talking about the extremely small time frames, because most of the action is kind of happening on the 1 hour time frame, to be honest. 1 hour time frame is absolutely full of divergence all across the board. The first one being this, and the second one being this. Now we can confirm this by the RSI as this and this. So this to this is a really strong divergence, although this one is also kind of good, but this one is really strong. So in the immediate short term, which is probably the next 24 to 30 hours, I do expect the RSI to go all the way to 60, at least test it once, and then probably get rejected. But if we start closing the RSI on the 1 hour time frame above 60 and we start maintaining that posture above it, then we are looking for maybe a good trending move all the way to 10,420. Now this happens only and only if we try to maintain a good RSI posture above the 60. Now this is really significant, maintaining RSI above 60 on the 1 hour time frame. But eventually I do expect the price to sell off from these levels, as we have confirmed a lot of points as resistance zones and sellers are kind of stepping in on those levels. Okay, so one more thing I want to be talking about is this perfect formation that we are in. not exactly perfect, but can definitely be taken into consideration looking at how this looks like. Guess what this is? This is a falling wedge, or a falling pizza, something I like to say. Anyway, so this is a falling wedge which is going to be pointing towards, of course, 10,425, aligning with the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. If we do start putting candles above it and we do start closing green candles just like this momentum shift, then this could be a good risk to reward opportunity for a long. Taking your stop loss below the candle closure and the target over there, which will yield you a risk to reward of 2.67, which is nice. Not bad, definitely not bad. Although Bitcoin is kind of generous and it gives you with a lot of multi percentage movements which you can capitalize on and make a lot of gains. Although this one is also good, not bad. A $400 move is kind of a good one if you play it well. Okay, so not much to talk about the Bitcoin price action today, so I'll simply head on to the dominance. We'll start off with the daily time frame on the dominance. For the past few days, we definitely had a clear momentum shift to the downside. However, the candle did kind of test the 21 moving average, and today we are having a bounce back as expected. Now if we do keep on closing candles above 72 on an average basis for the dominance, then it's going to be of course indicative of the fact that we are looking at numbers probably around 80 or maybe 78, which is pretty high. Dominance on those levels is kind of significant. I'll be counting on that. Let's check out the weekly posture. Weekly is still looking good, no doubt about it. It's ever since it closed above the 200 moving average on the weekly time frame, this thing is going to be bullish, because this is your general ideology behind any kind of asset. Well, Bitcoin dominance is not an asset, although you can chart it. It's been playing out very nicely. For example, this 100 moving average, and look how price kind of consolidated along its way. But yeah, what I would say that the charting is kind of working out in the dominance, in the Bitcoin dominance chart, which is kind of strange to see, but yeah, it's working out. So the price, the dominance is above the 200 weekly moving average and is showing up a good continuation. So I do expect the dominance to rise over time. Well, looking at Ethereum US dollar today. Weekly bearish. Weekly is simply bearish. Did try to attempt a few closures above it, but of course managed to fail. It simply failed. The price action simply failed to close above the 55 moving average, and it's kind of trending below it. We do have this crossover between the 21 and the 55 on the weekly time frame, which is definitely a bear cross. And for the immediate time frame, for the immediate term, I don't think that there is anything bullish about this. If we look at the supports, what kind of support do we have? Going on to the logarithmic values, not much of support. Not much of support, but if this is a channel, and if we have actually broken out of it, then we'll be making our way all the way down to $144, $144 USD, and this should be aligning with any moving average. No moving average present on the Bitfinex chart, but I think it is going to be the 200 weekly moving average. Let's check out Bitstamp. Oh, not having the required history. How about Coinbase? Not having the required history. Poloniex, of course, how can I forget my buddy? But it's still not got the history required. Anyway, I was trying to look for the weekly 200 moving average, and it says, oh, there you go. There you have it. The weekly 200 moving average. This is just a straight line. Straight up inclined line starting from May 2019, and it's currently just flat, but still kind of upsloping. This is only because of the historic price action, so which makes this entire thing to be upsloping. Anyway, the price action is below literally every moving average on the weekly time frame, which is definitely bearish. This is something which you cannot, even if you try to find for something bullish on these kind of situations, you will not be able to do that, because simply enough, all the moving averages are kind of narrating the fact that price action is weak. Price action is really weak. Going on to the 2-day time frame. Bearish crosses everywhere, and not a lot of hope to be seen actually for Ethereum, but the general sentiment of the market is kind of bullish towards Ethereum, as there are a lot of websites which kind of tells you about the margin positions, or maybe any kind of positions running on any asset, not any asset actually, Ethereum and Bitcoin. So judging by the statistics, people are damn long on Ethereum. Like, there are tons of long positions running on Ethereum. Never mind the funding or whatever that might be, but there are a lot of long positions running. Although I don't see any reason to be bullish on these regions. This is simple. And now we are going to be having a major bear cross on the 2-day time frame, which is going to be between the 200 moving average and the 21 moving average. The 21 moving average has aggressively bearishly crossed over a lot of moving averages already in the past, and now it is coming for the 200. Man, it's coming in hard and deep. it might just probably just cut through it, and I mean the bots and algorithms and probably the traders are going to be responding to this in a bearish perspective. They're going to be having a bearish perspective. However, the stochastics are kind of pointed upwards. Stochastic kind of pointing upwards from 31st of August, and what has price done? Gone sideways. Price has actually gone sideways while the stochastics was up. This is indicative of the fact that this is definitely not strengthful. We do want to be looking at good amount of strength. We do want to be looking at good big candles if we want to align it with the stochastic on any time frame. So the volume is lacking. It's constantly declining ever since May, and we had this big sell-off volume right at this point, exactly the reversal area, and the price has actually been tumbling down ever since, which was the 26th of June. Price peaked around $385, which was definitely a good rally if you consider this entire up move. Right from $80 to $385 is a 373% gains. Not bad, definitely not bad. So now if we just take the Fibonacci retracement and measure the wick to wick price action, we are going for a deep retracement to the 0.786, because every other Fibonacci retracement has kind of failed. As you can see, the 0.5 kind of had some kind of significance, and the price was kind of getting squeezed in between the 0.618 and 0.5, ultimately resolving to the downside by putting this huge red candle. Right, so in the interim, I don't really see. Of course, judging by the price action, we do have a few supports, which is going to be like this. We have point of interaction here, all this way here, and now we are here again. Right, so let's check out the oscillators. Definitely no kind of divergence going on. This is weak. The strength index is kind of weak. The relative strength is kind of pointed downwards and is coming in for a retest of the moving average. Now this really concerns me. Now if this gives yet another bearish cross, we'll be looking at some lower prices, definitely. My personal target is going to be somewhere around 145 zones, as it is aligning with the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement number. So I do expect the price to head towards that area if we lose this support. If we lose the $165 support, really important on the 2-day time frame, really important on any time frame. Well, that's your analysis about the Ethereum price action, and nothing interesting actually on the cryptocurrency land today. Bitcoin price action, definitely very choppy, and let me just get back to it actually. Yeah, the price action is really choppy, and whenever the price action is like this, when you have hunts to the upside and the downside as well, you might want to be avoiding taking any kind of position in the market, because, well, the price action and its chop is simply going to be frustrating you like crazy, and well, probably it will resolve to the side on which you're not. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, so yeah, if we start putting candles above the 100 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, and we start closing above it, I'm talking about the 4-hour candles although, then we can expect the up move towards 10,300 all the way to 10,450, as we talked about it on the 1-hour time frame. 200 moving average coming in as resistance over there. Price can definitely go there, test it, as we do have a few bullish factors going on right here, and the sellers have definitely started losing the momentum. Okay, so the path of the least resistance currently would be to the upside, judging by the extremely small time frames. Now that doesn't mean that I'm bullish on the daily time frame. Daily is below the 21 moving average, and as far as it is closing below the 21 moving average, I will refrain from taking any kind of long position in the market, to be honest. However, in the coming days, in the following days, I do expect a price retest to 9,400 zones, and after that we can decide what is the next move going to be looking like. Until then, it is just sideways job, and but definitely not worth trading, and definitely not worth risking your money taking positions on these levels until the price kind of resolves itself to the upside or the downside. Anyway, that's been it for today's video, and it's kind of long, right? I hope you gained some kind of value out of it, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.